Hello classmates! Today we will be presenting our operations analysis project. Our group consists of Cristina Gonzalez, Isabel Lubriel, Martín Medina, Alberto Ramos, Fernando Rodriguez, and myself, Laura Hernandez. The company we chose is PepBoys Auto Parts and Service, an American automotive aftermarket retail and service chain company. So the question is, why did we choose PepBoys? In Puerto Rico, there are at least 2 cars per household and a total of 3.68 million of people in the island. Due to the fact that many people use a car as their primary source of transportation, means that this is a service that many people use and need in order to continue getting to where they need to go. So what services does PepBoys provide? They provide repair services, maintenance services, tire services, retail services, and oil and filter change. And our focus is on oil and filter change. There are 3 main packages for oil and filter change. The first is the Mobile One synthetic package. The second one is the Pennzoil synthetic or high mileage synthetic package. And the third one is the conventional motor oil change packages. But we will focus on the general oil and filter change. Some general facts of PepBoys is that we are working with the market of automotive, aftermarket, retail, and service chain. The customers they serve is low-income families and medium-class families. Their main competitors are car dealers, Advanced Auto Parts, and AutoZone. And their strategic positioning is to implement new customer service program, redesign the environment and culture of the company, while moving into a relationship-based message that trusts the boys to get you there, and offer competitive prices. So first we have the PepBoys Service Blueprint tool. Here we can see the customer journey, the line of interaction with the employee actions, and the line of visibility, which is the backstage actions and the support process. So first we have that the customer parks the car and enters the establishment to ask for the filter and oil change, while the employee greets the customer and asks for any information regarding their car and their personal information, while directing them to the waiting area. This takes about 10 to 12 minutes. After this, the customer moves the car to the service station for the check-in, where a mechanic takes the car to start working on the oil and filter change. This takes about 8 minutes. The mechanic first verifies the car and later enters the car's state to the information system and any additional recommendations. After that, the customer waits for the mechanic to work on the car and oil filter change and receives any additional recommendations. This takes about 25 to 30 minutes. Later, the customer arrives for pickup and receives the final updates on the car, which takes about 5 minutes, while also receiving the final updates on the payment information. The customer then pays for the service and checks out the car to go home. Another tool we used is the journey map. The journey map has 7 basic actions. First, we have the need for service, the arrival, the check-in, bringing the car, waiting time, the checkout, and then the customer leaves. First, the car indicates that the filter and oil change is due, while the customer is thinking, where can I go for the service and how much will it cost? Afterwards, the arrival, they arrive at the service station and ask for the filter and oil change. Later on, they check in and wait until the employees are ready to take the car in for the service. Then they move the car into the service station, wait until the service is done, and once the service is done, they go inside the store to pay for the completed service. Afterwards, they get inside their car and they leave to go home. The third tool we used is the storyboard. This is basically the same process we have been explaining in the past 2 other tools, but in pictures. First, we have that the oil change is due, the customer arrives to the store, they move the car to the service station, the mechanic works on the car while the customer is waiting, and then they pay for the service, get to their car, and leave. For the waste analysis, we have 2 main wastes, waiting time and inappropriate processing. For the waiting time is when the customer arrives without the appropriate vehicle information, it causes the mechanic to spend additional time researching the vehicle specs. This results in a delay in the mechanic's work schedule. Also, an unexpected spike in demand could cause a shortage in inventory in the store section. This shortage of inventory in the store could cause for potential clients to leave or to delay the work schedule. For inappropriate processing, utilizing the wrong tools or having untrained personnel could damage the car's motor. And damaging the motor will end up in having the company replace or fix the damages made by their mechanics. This will cost the company more money and will delay the work schedule. So as you can see, delay in the work schedule is the main problem. And this is why for the cause and effects diagram, we chose this problem. As you can see, we have 4 main components: equipment, people, methods, and materials. For the equipment, if there is not enough equipment to meet the demand or the malfunction of the machines, it could delay the schedule. For the people, if the customers don't have the appropriate car information, unruly customers, or if the employees don't use the correct resources, oil and filter types, it also delays the schedule. For the methods, scheduling priorities due to capacity control and less employees available could also result in delay in the schedule. And finally, the materials. If the oil and filter is out of stock, if the wrong oil is used, or if it is not available because of store exclusivity, it will also delay the schedule or cause for a customer to leave. Based on these observations, we have 3 problems and some recommendations for the company. The first problem is the delay in the schedule caused by lack of information. The solution would be to have a database with customer information so that the next time the customer comes, the information will already be available to minimize possible mistakes. The second problem is the shortage of inventory. And the solution is to have a buffer of the inventory with low turnover to be able to sustain unexpected demands of that product. And the third problem is inappropriate processing by mechanics. The solution is that before any mechanic starts working as a new hire, have the mechanic go through a 2-week training where safety and appropriate tools training will be given by senior employees or supervisors to minimize potential errors in the future.